Hi lovelies. I want to talk to you today about paving your own spiritual path. And I have two different things that I kind of want to announce and talk about a little bit. So I actually think I might make two separate videos, but both of them will be talking about this same kind of general topic of the question of how you go about paving your own spiritual path, the implications, the difficulties, the rewards, why it's important and all that kind of thing. So this first video I'm going to talk a little bit about changes that I'm making currently to Heart Story, and specifically to the tarot readings that I offer on the Heart Story Etsy shop. I have been offering tarot readings that focus on your spiritual development and the development of your spiritual practice for quite a long time now. Pretty much since the outset, I have felt that the main thing I kind of really wanted to get to grips with people with my tarot readings was spiritual practice and spiritual beliefs, and really just walking that same path that I started down several years ago when I started dedicating myself to a spiritual path and to a spiritually centered life. So essentially what I've done is that I've focused pretty much all of my readings on my Etsy shop on spiritual development and spiritual growth, and I'm kind of using a new term to define the kind of tarot readings that I offer, and that is spiritual mentoring. Spiritual mentoring feels to me like it's coming a lot closer to what I really want to be doing with tarot and what I really want to be doing with Heart Story. I'm not exactly sure why it's something that I've held back a little bit from up until now, but it's funny how that's how things go for us, isn't it? That we tend to hold ourselves back from the ultimate dream a little bit at first because we're a little bit scared of how things are going to go, and if we go full on for the big dream straight away, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's going to feel all the more crushing. So sometimes it takes a little while for us to figure out where we really want to go with something, and we have to start out general and then realize, no, I actually want to focus in. I want to hone in on one particular thing and do that well. So from now on, I am still offering two general kind of tarot readings. I'm still offering my joint journaling participatory tarot offering, which was kind of an innovation that I came up with a couple of months ago because I really enjoy doing that. And I do like the idea of still offering that to people who maybe want to look at more general questions in their lives. My focus will always be on the spiritual. I am likely to talk about spiritual aspects of your life and stuff like that when you come to me for a tarot reading, but I do still want to leave an option open for people to be able to get a more general tarot reading rather than just focusing on their actual spiritual practice. And I'm also offering what I call a tiny tarot reading, which is just a very short kind of mini reading, 3-card reading, to give kind of people, again, another little option for something that is more general, or just a very kind of short little reading for people to get if they're, you know, if you're on a budget or you haven't had a reading from me before and you want to kind of test the waters and see how it goes, see how we gel together, that might be a good option too. But for the moment, I'm only offering a handful of other kind of reading kind of tarot spreads, like designated tarot spreads. I think it's 7 that I have up so far, but I am planning on adding several more very soon. And these kind of focus on various different aspects of your spiritual development and your spiritual practice that you might want to figure out, have a little bit of a helping hand, figuring out how you want to approach it, how you want to develop it, how, you know, when you're feeling a little bit lost and overwhelmed when it comes to developing your own spiritual path, it can be good to have something to kind of narrow your focus, give you directions to go in and just offer a couple little pieces of advice. So I use the tarot cards to do this, and this is something that I've done quite a lot of readings of this kind before. I use the tarot cards to sort of give us a springboard, a way to kind of start talking about the subject and pick out kind of potential issues or guidance that might be coming up. And then of course also the guidance is also coming from my heart, because this is something that is very close to me and something that I have definitely gone through. I'm very much still at the very beginning stages of my spiritual life and my spiritual practice, but I have gone through those first couple of years, those first couple of exploratory years of trying to figure out what works for me, what doesn't, and what way ultimately all of this is to go. I kind of went from a point of considering myself an atheist only say 5 years ago to a point where I feel the most spiritual that I ever had in my life now. So I feel like I've had some really relevant life experience, and you know, done quite a lot of research and reading, and I definitely have a background of information and a wealth of wisdom that I feel like I'm ready to offer up to other people who are trying to do the same thing as me. So the way that it works is that I have those various designated kind of spreads that focus on different things, like say just beginning your spiritual journey, which is a general kind of guideline to how you start out completely from scratch. Then there are things like spirituality and creative expression, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to be adding things like developing a meditation practice, developing ritual, developing a daily practice, and those kinds of things. Then I also have a 4-week spiritual mentoring option, which is more general. You can choose to kind of focus on any of those options that you want to look at, or anything you like at all. And this is another participatory tarot option, where we kind of talk back and forth for a space of 4 weeks, or however long, you know, it organically unfolds. I will send you 4 different kind of slightly smaller tarot readings, focusing on whatever you want to talk about, whatever we've decided, whatever we've agreed on that we're going to focus on for the 4 weeks. And yeah, the conversation sort of evolves in that way. So that's a little bit more of an in-depth kind of way to go about it. Or if you are kind of just starting out, or if you have something in particular that you're trying to work on, then it can be useful to have somebody there to kind of have a back and forth with, and to have continued tarot guidance kind of feeding you as you go along. So that's the way that I'm going for the moment with the heart story readings, and I'm really, really excited about that, because those are the readings that bring me the most joy to do for other people. You know, I get really excited when I see that somebody has purchased one of the spiritually inclined kind of tarot readings. So it kind of dawned on me that that is what I most want to do with tarot and with heart story. So that's what I should be doing. So I think that's pretty much all that I'm going to say about that for the moment. The other thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to talk about this more now in a second video that I'm going to make, so that'll probably be posted just after this one. I'm actually going to start a new blog and video series, because this decision to kind of mix up and change up and focus and hone in the offerings that I have on the Etsy shop has kind of resulted in me getting a lot more focused about what I want to do with Heart Story in terms of the free content that I'm offering as well. And I have had this idea in my head that I want to do an ebook, write an ebook for quite a while now, focusing on the question of developing your own spiritual practice. But I haven't quite started on it yet, and it's just something that's been sitting there in the back of my mind. So I decided that a great way to get the ball rolling on that would be to offer you guys some free content, to offer up a video series and a blog series, and really start exploring the ideas that I have about those topics. So if you're interested in that, I would very much suggest that you subscribe to the channel, and that you head on over to Heart Story and check out the blog. You might also want to subscribe to my newsletter, because my newsletter, I think I'm probably going to be focusing more on those kind of questions in the exclusive articles that I send out in the newsletter every month. And then I send out a newsletter every 2 weeks, updating you on the blog posts and videos that I have been posting recently. So if you want to keep up to date with that, I would say definitely sign up to the newsletter and subscribe and check out the website and all that kind of stuff. But for more detail, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that series that I'm going to be starting in the next video, so go and check that out now. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you're all as excited about this new direction as I am. Like I say, it's not really a totally new or different direction for me. It's something that I've always been doing with Heart Story anyway, but it's just I'm just really focusing in now, and wanting to hone my tarot skills, really focus them on that particular thing that I want to help you guys with. Take care, guys. Talk to you again soon.